Are you looking for an affordable yet good headlamp? It looks like I found a great option. In this video, we'll take a detailed look at the Sofirn H25S. We'll discuss its construction, ease of use, lighting, and of course, its pros and cons. The flashlight looks like a tube with a protrusion in the center for two LEDs. It's worth noting that the central placement of LEDs might be preferable to some, compared to the side placement in L-shaped flashlights. This way, the light source is positioned right in the middle of your forehead, instead of being slightly off to the side. Personally, I don't see a significant difference in LED placement. The headlamp is made entirely of metal, most likely aluminum, with a black anodized coating. The anodizing isn't the best, so over time signs of wear will appear. However, the metal body significantly increases the flashlight's durability. The headlamp runs on a single 18650 battery, which is installed inside the body. To access it, you need to unscrew the cap. A nice feature is that the threading is anodized. This means that by slightly loosening the cap, you can lock the headlamp to prevent accidental activation, especially useful if you carry it in a backpack or bag. By the way, the included battery is a brand name 18650 with 2200 mAh capacity. It's not the most powerful option, so you might want to purchase a separate 3500 mAh battery later to significantly extend the headlamp's runtime. The battery compartment is reinforced with longitudinal Sofirn ribs, which surprised me in a good way. It's nice to see that the manufacturer cares about the durability and sturdiness of their product. Both contacts inside are spring-loaded, meaning the headlamp is compatible with both protected and unprotected 18650 batteries. A small tip: lubricate the headlamp's threading with silicone grease. This will protect the anodized coating and make the cap's movement smoother. On the opposite end, there is a rubber power button. Inside the button, there's an LED indicator that shows the battery charge level when the headlamp is on. If the indicator is green, everything is fine. If it turns red, it's time to recharge the headlamp. How do you charge it? The Sofirn H25S features a USB Type-C port, which is great for a headlamp in this price category. To access it, you need to unscrew a special cap on the opposite side of the battery compartment. Once opened, you'll see a charging port. Again, lubricate this threading as well. I really like the screw cap design. It's much more elegant than rubber covers, which I personally can't stand. Those tend to loosen over time, can tear with careless use, and just look cheap in my opinion. Now let's talk about the mounting system. It's quick release, but honestly I don't see much point in that. This isn't an L-shaped flashlight, so using it as a handheld light isn't very convenient. Also, there is no clip, meaning you can't attach it to a backpack strap or shirt. I'd strictly consider the Sofirn H25S as a headlamp, not a handheld flashlight. The mounting bracket is plastic, not silicone, so you need to be careful. Plastic can crack easily, especially in cold weather. However, the headband itself is of good quality. It stretches well and hasn't lost its elasticity over time. The package also included a vertical strap, but I removed it since I don't need it. For a headlamp of this size, a horizontal strap is more than enough. The headlamp tilts easily for adjusting the light angle. The mechanism is stepped with satisfying clicks, which is great because the angle stays fixed and doesn't shift accidentally. The headlamp features two SST40 LEDs with a color temperature of 5000 kelvins. To me, the light feels a bit cool, whereas I prefer 4000 kelvins. However, the advantage of a cooler light is that it always appears brighter than a warm one. The LEDs are housed under an orange peel reflector, covered with glass. Since the light is reflected rather than diffused through a lens, it's more focused, which improves throw distance. However, the beam isn't too narrow. It's well balanced, making the headlamp comfortable to use both indoors and outdoors. The manufacturer claims a beam angle of 180 degrees. The brightness of Sofirn H25S is 1200 lumens. That's more than enough for nighttime walks. But keep in mind, this refers to the turbo mode, which you won't be using all the time. The two LEDs heat up the headlamp very quickly, despite its large heat dissipation surface. After just a few minutes, it will automatically reduce brightness to prevent overheating. Speaking of protection, the manufacturer claims that the Sofirn H25S is IPX4 rated. Given its build quality, I'd say it will handle rain and humid environments without any issues, but don't submerge it in water. As for controls, I think they're just right. Single press turns the headlamp on and off. Holding the button switches between brightness modes. Double click activates strobe mode. There are 5 modes in total: 30 lumens, minimal for reading or close-up work; 80 lumens, comfortable for walking; 240 lumens, universal bright mode; 450 lumens, bright for more challenging conditions; 1200 lumens, turbo mode, maximum power. The headlamp remembers the last mode used. Also, if you double-click while in strobe mode, it activates a beacon mode, useful for cyclists. The downside is the lack of a moonlight mode, very low brightness. This would have been helpful for using the headlamp as a night light or for avoiding blinding yourself if you wake up at night. All in all, this is an excellent headlamp for the price. In the $10 to $15 range, there are almost no direct competitors. I won't say it's perfect, there are compromises. I'd prefer a warmer light, a wider hotspot without a central bright spot, and a moonlight mode. Also, I think 5 brightness levels are too many. It would be great to customize which modes to keep and which to disable. But let's be honest, I'm asking for too much for a headlamp at this price. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe if you enjoy this kind of content. The link to the headlamp is in the description as always. See you in the next video.